Every morning, before the noise of the world drowns your thoughts, before the texts start flooding your screen, before the demands of others steal your attention, you stand at a silent, sacred crossroads. This moment, when the day is still yours, defines not just how you will live, but who you will become. Most people don't rise, they react. They wake up and are already behind. Behind on time, behind on purpose, behind on life. They hit snooze on their alarm, and in doing so, they hit snooze on their potential. But not you, not today, because you are about to learn the mindset, the discipline, the decision that separates the dreamers from the doers, the quitters from the warriors, the forgettable from the unstoppable. Let's begin where it all begins, in the mind. Because every victory you've ever witnessed first started as a silent whisper within the mind of someone who refused to break. And every defeat? It began the same way, with a thought allowed to grow roots in unguarded soil. Part 1. I am the master of my mind. The battlefield is not out there, it's in here. Your mind is your greatest weapon and your greatest enemy. Most people lose not because they are weak, but because they never learn to master their thoughts. You see, the average man lives in mental autopilot. He wakes up and accepts whatever his mind serves him, worry, regret, distraction, doubt, and consumes it like breakfast. And then he wonders why his life feels chaotic, why his dreams feel distant, why his spirit feels defeated. But imagine this instead. You wake up, and before your feet hit the floor, you declare, not passively think, but boldly declare, I am the master of my mind. Say it. Say it again. Let it sink in. I do not answer to fear. I do not answer to comfort. I do not answer to the doubts planted by others. I am the captain now. My mind is my tool, not my master. Now, take a deep breeze. And ask yourself, how much of your life have you been handing over to default thinking? How many hours have been wasted worrying about what could go wrong instead of preparing for what could go right? How many times have you surrendered to the first sign of discomfort? From this moment forward, that ends, because you were not born to drift, you were born to command. The same mental fabric that sculpted empires, invented revolutions, and survived unimaginable odds, that same material exists within you. The only question is, are you willing to mold it? Reality check. Your thoughts are seeds. Every thought you think is a seed, every single one. And your subconscious is the soil. It doesn't judge, it doesn't filter, it just grows whatever you plant. Think about that. If you plant fear, you will grow hesitation. If you plant self-pity, you will harvest inaction. But if you plant resilience, if you plant confidence, if you plant hunger, vision, and discipline, then my friend, your life becomes the orchard of giants. Here's where the average man gets it wrong. He doesn't realize he's farming all day. Every time you say, I can't, I'm tired, I'm not good enough, your garden withers. But you're going to replant. You're going to pull out every root of doubt and sow seeds of focus and force. I am powerful. I learn quickly. I adapt, I grow, I thrive. Speak it, write it, believe it. Because your reality does not bend to your circumstances, it bends to your dominant thoughts. And if you don't choose them, the world will choose for you. Every morning, practice this 3-minute ritual before you speak to the world. Sit in silence, no noise, no screen, just you. Repeat this phrase aloud, 10 times. I am the master of my mind. I plant strength. I grow purpose. I command my reality. Visualize the day ahead. See yourself handling stress with composure, opportunities with clarity, people with presence. And with one action word: create, build, dominate, serve, lead. Choose a word and let that word guide your actions today. Do this for 7 days and you will feel a shift. 30 days and you will see the shift. 90 days and you will become the shift. But mastering the mind is only step 1. Once you control the internal world, you must direct it towards something worthy, because without a goal, even the strongest mind wanders. In the next section, we'll uncover the second law of the relentless, the power of definite purpose, and how it can rebuild your entire life. Obstacles aren't signs to stop. They're signals that it's time to rise. Every setback you face is not a dead end. It's a forge, a test, a moment screaming for you to evolve, smarter, stronger, more relentless. Picture a man walking a winding path. Suddenly, a massive tree falls in front of him. The weak man turns back. The average man sits and waits, hoping someone clears the way. But the one destined for greatness, he rolls up his sleeves, breaks it down, builds a bridge, not just to cross over, but to lead others forward. You must ask yourself right now, what would my life look like if I used every challenge as fuel, not failure? What if every no taught me something? Every delay tested my patience and sharpened my persistence? Say it out loud. Say it like a promise to your future self. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Let that truth become your lens, the filter through which you see the world. Let burdens become blessings. Let setbacks become setups. And let every problem turn into possibility. The road to greatness was never promised to be smooth, but it's always, always been worth walking. Before your feet even hit the floor each morning, a declaration must echo in your soul, louder than fear, louder than excuses, louder than doubt itself. I refuse to quit until I win. You see, history doesn't remember the ones who gave up. It remembers the ones who showed up, even when it hurt. It remembers the ones who fell and rose again. No one ever climbed a mountain halfway, looked up at the summit and said, "That's far enough." No, champions dig deeper, step harder, grit their teeth and say, "I didn't come this far to come this far." But here's where most people fall. They mistake delay for defeat. One obstacle and they think, maybe this isn't for me. But tell me, has anything truly worth having ever come without struggle? A blacksmith doesn't forge a sword in a single strike. He hammers again and again, not out of frustration but purpose, because he knows each strike strengthens the blade. You are forged the same way. Let's be real. You've set goals. You've made moves. And when the results didn't come quickly, doubt crept in. But then you remembered your oath. I refuse to quit until I win. And just like that, failure became a lesson. Delay became preparation. Rejection lost its power. Because quitting, it's no longer on the table. Not for you. Here's the truth. Every moment you push forward builds an edge no one else can fake. While others give up, you refine. While others step back, you step through. So how do you build this iron will? You make your refusal to quit non-negotiable. You speak it into existence. You live it like breath. You rise regardless of mood, motivation, or ease. Obstacles will appear. Let them, face them, smile, then say, "You won't outlast me." Whether it takes a week, a year, or a lifetime, you persist. Because the ones who refuse to stop, they're the ones who win. Ask yourself now, how many treasures in life sit just behind one more attempt, one more push, one more day of not giving up? And who will you be, the one who stopped or the one who broke through? Declare it again. I refuse to quit until I win. Let that fire burn so loudly that no fear, no delay, no rejection can silence it. Because victory is not promised to the most gifted, the most fortunate, or the most lucky. It belongs to the most determined. You've come too far now to look back. Too many days, too many sleepless nights, too many moments when you wanted to quit, but didn't. That was no accident. That was power. That was will. That was you becoming someone unrecognizable to your past self. Now the question is, will you finish what you started? You see, comfort is the silent killer of dreams. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It lulls you into routine, into average, into a soft prison where good enough becomes your ceiling. But high achievers, they don't live in comfort. They burn in pursuit. They ache with hunger. They demand more from life because they demand more from themselves. That's the truth the world will never teach you. They'll tell you to slow down, to be grateful and settle, to compromise with mediocrity. But greatness is not found in compromise. It's found in obsession. You want a different life? Then be willing to live differently. Wake earlier, train harder, focus longer, say no more often, endure failure without flinching. The price of your dream is discomfort. If you're not willing to bleed for it, you're not ready to own it. This is your wake-up call. Stop entertaining doubt. Stop entertaining fear. Stop holding meetings with your excuses. They have no vote, no seat at your table. This is your story, and it gets written by what you do next, not what you feel. Let me be clear. The battle is never just external. Your greatest opponent will always be the voice inside that says, it's too hard, it's too late, it's not working. But that voice, it's a liar, and you must treat it as such. You must confront it, not with kindness, but with action. When it whispers, give up, you answer back, watch me work. Because the truth is, most people don't quit because they're broken. They quit because they're bored. They quit because the spark fades and they expect the flame to burn forever on its own. But greatness? Greatness is not a fire that burns by itself. It is fed, daily, hourly, moment by moment, by effort. You show up when it's hard. You push when it hurts. You move forward when nothing around you gives permission. That's the edge. That's the difference. That's where separation lives. And understand this, no one's coming to save you. No motivational speaker, no viral quote, no overnight success story is going to walk your path for you. That burden and that blessing belongs to you. Because those who rise, rise alone. In the early mornings when the world sleeps, in the late nights when no one claps, in the quiet moments of doubt, you must rise, again and again and again. Relentless, not because someone believes in you, but because you do. The greatest shift in your life will happen the moment you stop negotiating with the old version of yourself, the one who hesitated, who second-guessed, who waited for perfect timing. Let that version die. Let it be buried under the weight of your next effort. The clock is ticking. And here's what time has taught every legend who ever lived. There is no guarantee of tomorrow, no promise of another chance. So if you're waiting, you're already losing. You get one shot at this life, one, and it's happening now. Not next week, not after motivation strikes, not when it's convenient. Now. This moment, this grind, this pain, this decision, this is your edge, and if you don't seize it, someone else will. You want to be exceptional? Then act like it. No more half efforts, no more procrastination masked as planning, no more fear disguised as logic. It's time to make a decision. Do you want this, or do you just want to talk about it? There's a storm coming of trials, of resistance, of tests, but storms are where warriors are built, not in safety, not in silence, but in the roar of the wind and the fire, of the forge. So rise with the storm, become the storm. And when life throws its worst, look it in the eye and say, you picked the wrong soul to break.